Hi, this is Lisa Buddha. I am Trina Delissa.
In Sydney Olympics. Right on, right on. So they're to a specific size. So we have to wait on it. Part of it will be part of history. I know that we have had an appearance, but you'll be part of the history of sport. And then
You have to put in the work.
To support the
the joy supports, as I said, commission, dedication, pride himself, right? And I will see.
Equestrian hours. There's venue after venue, and within an hour away, so we've got lots of training opportunities. No, I charge a fee per ride for that, so my skills do pay.
Is there a circuit? Yes, there is. There is.
Okay, so
Gonna do it one more time.
Okay.
Look up. This is like you're jumping an entire castle.
It's not far.
The boat.
But it's very, very.
Friends and talk.
My pleasure, Lydia.
So nice to meet you. Thank you.
And everybody sees that. You're one of the million. Everybody sees that.
The main objectives of this courtesy call is what the JOA would have facilitated the visit of Lydia Haywood to Jamaica. Coming out of the discussions, we would have looked at the possibility of Lydia representing Jamaica in equestrian in the 2020 Olympics and 2024 Olympics by extension. I think the discussions were very open, very realistic and pragmatic in itself. We strongly believe that we have a chance in looking at Lydia representing us in equestrian in 2020 Olympics, but definitely beyond the 2024. We believe that her chances are very great. Coming out of the discussions as well, Lydia would be one of the youngest members, if not the youngest member, to represent in the sport. And I believe through the GOA's assistance, we will give her the best possible opportunity to represent Jamaica in 2020 Olympics and beyond. Equestrian is a very expensive sport, but there are many other sports that is just as expensive as equestrian. One of the things that we did this year was to expand our sponsorship base to include corporate sponsors. So we're no longer self-dependent on IOC and Pan American sports, but corporate sponsors such as Puma, Toyota, Lasco, Mayberry, and many others, Carton, Starlight Productions, have expanded our corporate base, but not just the corporate base, but in terms of our funding opportunities to meet the demands of our members. This year alone, we would have admitted 9 new members, 9 new sports to the Jamaica Olympic Association, and there are many others knocking on the door for Olympic participation and growing sport and sporting development. And as such, we have to move with the times and we have to expand our sponsorship base to meet those demands of our member associations. Well, one of the main things coming out of the discussion is to look at the funding that is required to get Lydia to 2020 Olympics. What will happen now from this courtesy call is that we will sit with Equestrian Federation again and go over what are the possibilities to get her there. The main cost, of course, would be getting horses, and they, coming out of the discussion, they needed about 3 to 4 horses to realistically heighten their chances of qualifying for 2020 Olympics. We will sit with them again and go over the numbers, and wherever best GOA can internally assist our member association or through our corporate sponsors and other corporate sponsors, because she's not from Jamaica, she doesn't reside in Jamaica, she resides in England. We will see how best we can get corporate sponsors internationally, locally, to provide the funding to get her to 2020 Olympics, but if not 2020, 2024.
I'm really looking forward to representing Jamaica in upcoming Olympic Games. I am the only Jamaican in my sport of eventing, which consists of 3 parts: show jumping, cross country and dressage, and you have to perform your very best in each phase to keep your score down to a minimum. I have one horse at the moment who means an awful lot to me. I've owned him for 9 years. He's called Billy, and I ride him every day. I train him, I keep him fit and well, and I'm really looking to add a couple of more horses to my string, which will enable me to really take the sport to the global stage and look at 2020 and 2024 and beyond. I'm very young in my sport, and I compete against people in their 60s and very regularly, very accomplished riders, and I work daily to perfect each part of what I do, the dressage and the show jumping, the cross country. The cross country is definitely my favourite because it allows me to gallop across the countryside and attack these big fences, and they don't come down. So you've really got to make sure that you're sharp and that you're picking the right point to take off and help the horse, keeping an eye on your watch, and make sure you come through the finish line in the time that they're looking for, so you add no further penalties. And that just really gives so much adrenaline. It's the reason why I do the sport. The chance to represent Jamaica and have a new sport, a new unique area to perform and show that Jamaicans are capable of doing absolutely anything. We have medals in swimming now. We're becoming accomplished rugby players, and equestrian is somewhere we can really excel. I know that there are other people that would like to take their equestrian higher, in a higher level, and it just takes funds. I am looking for sponsors to join the journey with me. There's an awful lot of affluent people, and there's 11 million equestrian fans in the UK alone, 750 million worldwide, I'm told. So the audience is very large, very affluent, and I think that there's a great opportunity there. As I say, I'm unique in the sport, and I'm very driven to get to the top. So keep an eye on my journey. I am on Instagram and on Facebook. It's Lydia Hayward with an E. So watch your journey, and I hope that you find it interesting. I've been competing in eventing for 4 years, and prior to that I was show jumping at national level. Eventing, I've been focusing on getting up the levels, but making sure that I am very strong at each level before I progress. It's all about having the foundations correct, so you can progress and be confident when the jumps go up and the movements get more difficult. And I believe I've done that. I've made sure I'm winning at the level before I move up to the next. And now I find myself in a place where I'm just 2 levels away from the Olympics. I've climbed from BE 80, 90, 100, novice, 1 star, and I'm at 2-star level now. Olympics is 3-star level, so I will really make sure I have the strong foundations and hit the ground running next season in March with my horse Bonman JD and any other horses that will come my way. I'm currently riding another very exciting young competition horse called GFS Moonlight Echo. She's a 4-year-old, where my horse Billy is 11. So we have many years to progress her up through the levels, and she's showing an awful lot of talent. She's a little bit smaller than my horse Billy, but she really puts her effort into the jumping. And she's very passionate about the sport, I think. If she could have a voice, she'd tell you that. She finds it very exciting. So the way that we'll progress now is to build my string. I'd like to have 5 horses that are competitive at the international level, and that'll give me the chance to get to the Olympic level that I want to be come 2020 or 2024, which is very dependent on what happens next year and what support can be drummed up with the help of Mr. Samuda here.